Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Alex here, and today I want to talk about a topic that has been on my mind for a little while now, and that is the concept of grinding and what grinding means as we play games. Now, and as I'm sure most of you, play PC games mostly. Not all the time, but mostly. I play PC games. And I've been playing in the MMORPG genre for quite a long time, as well as the MOBA genre, and several others, although I've not gone into the whole Battle Royale genre yet. Who knows, maybe I'll take a dive here at some point and try it out. But anyways, inside MOBAs and MMORPGs, grinding is a real thing. And how we approach the game, how we enjoy the game, what we view our rewards and what we're doing really drives the definition of whether we are grinding or not. Now, a lot of times we get into a game or we pursue something in the game that it would be worthwhile if we took a minute or two or three to really step back and say, am I really enjoying what I'm doing? Am I doing this just to get some digital reward, that's some pretty pixels in a game that maybe not everyone sees, not everyone plays, and certainly anyone outside of the game would probably not even recognize or appreciate? Why am I diving into this whole exercise? To acquire one thing that to me or to you has a lot of value, enough value to sink hours and hours into a game, to grind up, to get that one thing. And then once you get it, what then? What does that all mean? And that is where the real question of grinding comes in. Well, one thing I started to think was, are we approaching grinding perhaps the wrong way? Maybe it's not the game designer's intention for us to be grinding to begin with. Let's take an example. So here is Guild Wars, as most of you in the channel well know. This is a game that I've featured a lot of videos for. But in Guild Wars, particularly starting at factions and then also by extension in Eye of the North, there are several factions, and which faction you align yourself with will present to you awards for aligning for that particular faction. Now here's where a key aspect comes in into how one approaches the game. So you can see I'm here in House Zuhelzer, which is kind of the capital of the Kurzik faction. As I pull up my character, there it is. I had to find the right key. As I pull up the character here, and I take a look, I was like, okay, well, I'm kind of friends with the Kurziks, and I'm Sentinel of the Luxons, so I actually have a much higher rank of the Luxons. But I could be going to the Kurziks here as like, you know what? I want this particular Kurzik armor. I want the base level Kurzik armor. And then if you really apply yourself, if you really throw yourself into the Kurzik cause, you get the elite Kurzik armor. And then also you can amp up the Kurzik unique skill, which are basically the same copies of the Luxon skill, but neither here nor there. And you can make it really strong. Now, this is where the real question of the approach really comes in. Am I, or would someone else come to this? It's like, you know what? I'm going to go and I'm going to vanquish every territory, play every mission, do whatever it takes to get this, to get those rewards. The question you would ask yourself would be, if there were no rewards there, would you still do it? If the answer is no, and it's time to step back a little bit. Maybe reevaluate a few things. Because all the hours that you could spend in, let's say with the Kurziks or the Luxons, to get that elite armor. It could be a long time. You know, these elite armors don't come cheap. They require a lot of time. And how you justify that time in going after that reward really sets the definition of, are you having fun or not? Now, if you come in and it's like, you know what, I enjoy this area, I like, you know, the environment, I like the challenge here, I kind of like the lore, the mythos, I'm going to play the Luxons or the Kurziks, and okay, if I get a reward, great. If not, I just like being in this area and doing these unique things, particularly that one faction or the story of that one faction. And then, hey, I get some reward. Okay, awesome, I like it. But if there was no reward, I'd probably still stay here. I'd probably still do a lot. You know, and maybe there is a little bit of carrot out there. Maybe there's, you know, maybe that one little particular armor would kind of focus me into doing certain activities, such as vanquishing certain areas, playing in Fort Aspenwood, which is every weekend, and I want to play on the Kurzik side, or whatever Imperial faction I get for the Fort Aspenwood PvP. I'm going to align to the Kurziks, or I'm going to align to the Luxons, and I'm going to go that way. See, that falls more in line with, I think, the game designers, in this case Arena, that's intent. Now, you're doing something you enjoy. You're doing Fort Aspenwood. You're trying out vanquishes. Okay, now you're doing certain missions. You're looking at alliance battles, if you can get alliance battles going. And by doing those activities, okay, you're going to align to one side, and that kind of gives a setting or an objective that you can go for, but you would still do it anyways, even if there was no reward. And therein lies the key. Therein is where you are not grinding. You are actively enjoying the game. It just kind of focuses you a little bit and says, okay, you go and you align with the Kurziks, you're going to get this, but as long as you enjoy what you're doing, then it doesn't feel like you're grinding. You're like, oh my god, I gotta do this, I gotta do this, I gotta get all this amber, I gotta get all these jade shards, and once I get it, I'm gonna get this awesome armor, and I'm never gonna come back here again. Never gonna come back to this area again. I'm not gonna do one more vanquish. I'm never gonna even touch Fort Aspenwood ever again. I'm gone, I'm done, but I got my armor, and I can go out and everyone can see me. Well, great. It's a beauty contest. And that's where I think a lot of things are driven in MMORPGs. And I'm just using Guild Wars as an example because I got it up right now. Another one is World of Tanks or World of Warships. Same thing. You have a line of ships or tanks going from tier 1 to tier 10, and it's always the proverbial carrot out in front of you. The proverbial carrot kind of makes you want to keep playing, but are you really playing because you enjoy it, or are you just playing to get that proverbial carrot? We're kind of like donkeys, and that carrot just hung out in front of us, and we go walking after it. Makes you think for a minute, what am I using my time for? That is a key question whenever you see something that could fall into grinding. And I think that's a key thing that we always should keep in the back of our minds. Would I keep doing this if there was no reward? If the answer is yes, then it's not grinding. There's maybe a little bit of focusing, and you'll get a reward for what you're doing, what you enjoy already. And that's the key thing. And I think that's where the intent for any kind of armors or any kind of special type of things that are unique to a particular faction, for example, skills or an Eye of the North, certain consumables or armors and things like that. Okay, you are working for that faction, you're going to get rewards for that faction and people can see it. But you're not doing that to get the rewards, you're just doing that because you enjoy playing, and maybe in that particular section of the game, or you like the lore of that faction, or you just like the gameplay in that section, or maybe you want to explore around a bit and get a little bit of each faction. As long as you're doing that to enjoy yourself, rather than go into a particular reward, I think that's the important thing. And that is kind of now the litmus test that I use in any kind of game where there could easily be the tendency to fall into grinding. Okay, I want the tier 10 aircraft carrier in World of Warships. Well, what if there was no tier 10s? They say, okay, Alex, you're stuck at tier 5 and you're going to be there. Would you continue to play that ship even if there were no tier 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10? Like, yeah, I enjoy carriers. I'd still play it. I'd still play the Zuiho. And have a good time. It's not grinding. You're just doing what you enjoy naturally, and here are some rewards to help kind of reward you what you would be doing anyways. And that is the most important thing. So anyways, I'm going to leave it here. Something to think about. Do be careful about falling into grinding. You're just going to, if you fall into the grinding, you're going to really lose enjoyment of the game. You're going to hate the game. I saw this a lot in EVE Online, where people want to get a battleship or a capital ship or dreadnought, and they just go through hours and hours and hours of boredom of either just crunching rocks or running missions or something to get this wonderful ship, which could blow up anyways, and all their hours are thrown out the window. To begin with, in that particular sense, EVE is a little bit more crueler than Guild Wars or World of Tanks or World of Warships. Is that when that ship goes boom, it goes boom, and all the hours you put into getting that ship goes boom along with it. So you better have a really good idea of what you're doing and how you're spending your time. As long as you're enjoying what you're doing, as long as you feel like you're not wasting your time, you're not going to fall down and hate the game. That is what I think is the important thing, and how to continue enjoyment of the game and say, you know what, I still keep doing this, but hey, reward is great. I'll keep going. So something to think about, guys and gals. So I hope to stir some thought here, and maybe kind of think about how you approach a lot of these games, whether it's Guild Wars or World Tanks or World of Warcraft or EVE Online or whatever. Really think about how you spend your hours and how you approach and spending your hours. Okay? Thanks a lot, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you like it. I'll be sure to put up some more. And as always, have a good time, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.